Gentlemen, I regret to inform you that the state Supreme Court has determined that forcing cadets to cross the Eliminator is a barbaric and malicious practice.
Tom Hall's baby.
The Morning Stream. Don't eat that. It's Pluto.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It is the morning stream for Monday, December 30th, 2024. Still 24.
For 2 more days.
2 more days. It's Eve today, right?
That's right, yes.
For all those who celebrate the day before New Year's.
That's right. So this is Bobby was saying that today is the semi-penultimate, but no, this is the penultimate day, right? Tomorrow is the last day, so this is the
penultimate is always the one before your last day.
Before the last, right? No, or do I have that wrong?
Well,
still?
if you're saying before the first,
right?
Yeah, exactly. If it's before the last, then it is penultimate today. Brian's right.
Yeah, it's the penultimate day of 2024.
Yeah, take that, science boy. Take that.
Well, no, I think you meant yesterday was the semi-penultimate. I have to go back, but antepenultimate. Yes.
Antepenultimate.
Right, okay.
Antepenultimate.
Wait, what was semi-penultimate then?
I don't know. Someone's got a semi. Let me know how that goes for you.
Just waiting for that.
Well, you knew it was coming.
I knew it was.
Hey. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, actually. that part was an accident. It's Scott and Brian here. We're doing a show. We're back. Christmas week was off, as you all noticed, probably. Thank you for letting us do that. And we're back. I hope, Brian, did you have a nice Christmas? It was a lovely time for you.
It was very nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Time with the family. We did. My grandmother in Brush did a visit for her on Christmas Eve. She just turned 100 on the 21st, and she. Again, I think I said this before when we went to her birthday party in the early part of the month. If this is what 100 looks like, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
She's running around. She's talking to people. She's playing golf. She's, doing all that stuff. So,
just shy or just younger than Carter, who just passed away. But she's
right.
Same year, I guess. Right? Was that? I guess
same year.
1924. Yeah, that makes sense. It's 100 years. That's pretty wild, though. Think of everything you've seen in 100 years. How different everything is from when you were. Let's say you getting your first memories at like 5 or 6. Let's say that 95 years span of change it must be mind-boggling for somebody like her. Just crazy.
It's got to be, and she rolls with it. Like I still had to help her with some stuff on her computer. Like that is the other thing that I do when I go up to her house is I do a little tech support.
Yeah.
Because we had this slideshow that I put together for her party, and she's like, now how do I get all those photos on my computer so I can view them? Which is a valid. It's not a. Even for a tech person, they'd be like, well, where are those stored? How can I get my hands on them? What player are they in? All that sort of thing.
Not a crazy question at all, I don't think.
Exactly. Yeah. And she's Windows, so I basically just had to use the built-in Photos app in Windows 11 or 10 or whatever she's on, and then just loaded all those in and said, all right, here's a brand new album. It's got all these photos in it. And then when you want to view it as a slideshow, you click this little play button. And she's like, oh, perfect. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, she sounds like she's with it, man.
Like a cookie?
Hey, it's better than sticky hard candy that's been in a bowl for 12
years. Oh, it is. She never
years.
offers that garbage. No, it's always like, it is decent, like chocolate chip, big fat, soft chocolate chip cookies and Rice Krispie bars and all sorts of
Speaking
stuff.
of which, this was the downfall of my holiday week.
Oh, no, really?
I ate poorly. I just didn't make a lot of smart decisions. But it's Christmas.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know?
Exactly. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you show up to a party, somebody's got a thing. And speaking of which, I went to this party. This is crazy. So this is a work party. I don't want to name names because I just don't want it to be weird. Because it's possible somebody's listening, but so it was an office party that my wife was helping run because she
gotcha. Okay.
helps this person do stuff.
Gotcha.
So she catered it and did all the food and everything.
Oh, nice.
And it was nice. It was at this really nice guy's house who's let's just say he's in the construction business, and let me tell you where there's a lot of money, the construction business. They make a lot of cash.
Yeah, they do.
At least it's clear to me now that they do. But part of it was this party. So we go to this party. Bunch of like really important people at the company are there, and the company itself is actually relatively new, and the people involved, just sort of took it over and are just getting started. So they got big plans, and it's all very exciting and all that. I get to go because everyone has a +1, and Kim's going to this party. So I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna go to this party. So we go there.
Nice.
And
it is a nice, as freelancers, as podcasters who don't really work for a company, we own our own companies.
Yeah.
Getting to go to a company Christmas party is
it is.
It's a nice perk. One of my clients invites me to his all the time, and it's every year, and it's like, this is the one thing that I do miss from working in a company is the company Christmas party, getting together.
If we were all in the same state, we'd all have a thing. We do it in Vegas, but it's not quite the same. But Christmas parties, you're right. It's like there's an art to it. There's a feeling to it that you can't replicate. There's also a bunch of downsides to it. I hated Christmas parties at the company I was at before I went out on my own. There was great stuff about it and just stupid stuff about it, and drunk people losing their minds and great moments. Like, it's just a weird mixed bag. Well, this thing was just a relatively small amount of people. I think it was like 17, 18 people. And the guy who owned the house and his wife, and then we only had one person who was there without anybody. Everybody else had a significant other. So that's why I think it was 17. It's an odd number. Mm-hmm. So we're all eating, chilling. Food was great. The guy that did the meat was an unbelievable meat guy. Just, oh my gosh, it was insane meat.
Really like smoked or barbecued or grilled or something.
All that stuff. Chicken, beef, pork, all of it. It was so good. Nice. So anyway, we're sitting around. They have this massive kitchen. Again, a lot of builder money, obviously on display here. Just this big old house. And not by old, I mean 4 years old. It's a new house. So we're in there and we're doing our thing. And at the end of this thing, and this is part of the reason I want to tell the story, is I want to see if you have any tricks on this, because you're a guy I can come to and say, hey, Brian, I want to really maximize my craps time in Vegas, and you'll have some answers for me. Right?
Oh, now I see the initialisms. Okay, now I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So we sit down at this table, and the owner of the company, the co-owner, says, all right, we're going to play left, right, and center. Everybody's played this game, some form of this game. And
usually, right? Yeah, exactly.
So he goes around the table and he says, 5 quarters to everybody. So everybody gets 5 quarters. Mm-hmm. I think it was 5. And you have them in front of you. And he throws a 20 in the middle as a pot, right? And we're like, a 20, it's fine, whatever. It's a good time. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I thought I would max out. That and the quarters you throw in the middle. And then you have these 3 dice. One says, or the 3 dice that you roll could either come up L for left, R for right, C for center, or a dot, meaning you keep your quarters.
Right.
So if you rolled them and you got an L, an R, and a dot, that meant I keep a quarter, or I keep, I only have to give away 2, one to left, one to right.
One to left, one to right. Exactly.
Or if it's all centers, I get 3 quarters out in the center, or whatever it ends up being, you have to do it. Mm-hmm. Then you go in these rounds until somebody is the only person left with 1 or more quarters and nobody else has anything. Mm-hmm. Then that person gets the pot. Simple game, nothing crazy about it. Played it before. Sure. So we sit down and we start doing this. And we do 1 round. And everyone's still in. And then I see this co-owner toss a $100 bill in the middle. Just throws it in.
Wow. Just like really greasing the pot.
Yeah. And I went, oh my gosh, we're only on round 1 and we're already doing this. So he sweetens the pot with 100, goes around again. I'm thinking that's it. We're never going to see more money in this.
Yeah.
Another 100. Goes around again, another 100. Now, some people are out, but also it can change hands. So you're out, but now you're back in because someone left it a quarter to you or righted a quarter to you. So you're back in. So it's not like people are out until they're totally out. By the time this thing is done, the pot is $600. And there's an extra 100 in a box of chocolates they got me as the +1 to the party.
No way, really? Okay.
So I start to realize I could walk out of here with $700 tonight. And I'm just kidding. And I'm just hanging on.
You walk out with 100. This feels like a Price is Right, or Monty Hall's going to step out and say something.
Yeah, it feels like someone's going to say, this is all a joke and you're not really getting this money. Yeah. We just did this to make you laugh, or it's fake money or something like that.
Right.
And as I start to realize, and I pull one of the hundreds and I just kind of look at it and put it back, and I'm like, that's real. And guy next to me is like, yeah, dude, oh my gosh. And so now everyone's serious. Now they're like, I'm going to win this game. And they're blowing.
Cutthroat left, right, and center.
Yeah. And they're blowing on the dice and doing like superstitious bullshit to make the luck happen. These are people that would never do that normally. I would never do that. I don't believe in that kind of thing. But you know what? I was going, oh, come on, baby. Shaking it and everything. And then ended up losing to this girl who got all $600. Plus, she had the other 100 in her box of chocolates, so she walked out with $700
she was another
that night.
plus one.
Yeah, and her husband that she's with, who works for the company, got a whole other bonus. So I think they left that place with like $2,000 or more.
Jeez,
I know.
Nice.
Everybody got 100 at least. They all these fancy backpacks with the big company logo on them, with really expensive.
Wow.
These things, these Yeti cups.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Each side, they got one on each side of the backpack, so these aren't cheap on their own even. Oh, I almost showed the logo of the company. It's on the back. But anyway, it was just wild. I'm not used to being around that kind of cash, you know.
No kidding. Yeah.
And I asked the owner. I said, how do you like account for this? I'm just curious. From a guy who runs his own company who has to deal with tax stuff all the time.
I mean, tax-wise, at the end of the year, how do you? I mean, this is actually how you solve your tax problems, is by spending a lot at the end of the year on something like this.
Yeah, normally, like my accountant will call me right around now. Well, about a week ago, and say, Scott, you need to buy hardware to offset this number,
right?
Or you need to do this to, it's all stupid. But I understand that part of it. And so I said, is that what this is like? This is a way for you to dump that money? He says, actually, we just count it all as miles. And I went, miles?
Miles?
Like as in you would pay somebody
for
their
airline miles?
No, like in that guy drove a lot this month, so he's getting miles pay, like for gas.
Yeah, like reimbursement. Okay.
And I said, but that's not what this is. And he goes, oh, I know. I'm like, all right, you guys do you. Okay. You do your business the way you do your business. It's totally fine. But I'm curious, Brian, is there a way to min-max your experience with left, right, center? Or is it pure luck? There's no way to.
Well, as a craps player, and someone who had learned the game of craps and figure out exactly which bets will get you the biggest payout, which have the least amount of risk for the best amount of reward, I can tell you that the best way to win is to not play left, right, center, and to play crap.
I was afraid this was the answer.
Yeah. I mean, that's all random. I don't think there's any that is such a purely based on a roll of the dice, like completely random. You don't have at least with craps, the dice are random, but you can put your money in places where you may not get a massive payout, but you'll get enough of a payout that if that hits 2 out of every 3 times, or even 1 out of every 3 times, you'll nearly break even.
Yeah.
Whereas there are other bets where it's like, I mean, I'm throwing my money away on a super long shot, but who knows, I might get something for it. But
that's wild. I figured that was true. I just thought while I was in the middle of it, I was like, I wish Brian was here. I could ask him if this is, if there's a way. There's
no
some way to
for
do
left,
it.
right, center. I'm afraid no.
The only way to do it is you show up with weighted dice. That's the only way.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Or somehow do something with the money so that you swap out a real $100 bill for the fake one or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it was cool though. It was fun, and we had a great time. The food was great. Oh, and this guy has a gigantic basement that is unfinished. And you'd think, well, these are rich people. They should finish their basement. They haven't finished it for this reason. 4 years ago when they bought the house, he decided to go down there, and with these huge canvas artificial walls hanging from the ceiling, he created a laser tag maze in there.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's built his own laser tag maze in the basement. Like they basically movable. He can change that layout anytime he wants, kind of thing.
Yeah, and he has this music system down there that just plays songs about stuff like "Hit him with your best shot." Yeah.
So basically, he set up a Jillian's or a Dave and Buster's.
Kind of. Yeah. It's real stupid in that way, but it was fun because there's no lights. Except the guns have a flashlight on the front of them. This is not old school 80s like backpack shit and the chest thing. These can sense when you're getting hit because of
No, oh really? So nothing even on your chest. So it's the gun. The gun registers whether or not you get.
Yeah, the gun. Each other's guns. They have a reload thing. They run out of ammo. They have a shotgun mode. They were expensive. Clearly, these look like really expensive guns, and they all worked like just as advertised. And you could change the color of your lights so that you were on a team, and you could even play a game like Infection, where I don't know if you've ever done this in a first-person shooter or something, but if you're on the white team and you're going up against the blue team, and if you shoot a blue team person, their light turns white. Now they are on your team and turn on everybody else. And the thing the guns know this somehow. Wow. It was absolutely wild. We're down there getting all sweaty, pitch black. I mean, it's probably an OSHA violation about 50,000 times down there, which is ironic because they're a bunch of builders who have to think about safety standards all the time.
Of course. Yeah, of course. You know, it's their own. It doesn't matter when it's your own deal.
Yeah.
It's your own,
super fun, though. Had a great time.
That's great.
And found out the guy that lives there is a graduate of my same high school, so we had a lot of talk about there, and he was all sad that they had torn it down and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it was a good time. Also, I went to a Barnes & Noble, and I want to know what you would do in my situation. So I was in there. This is just yesterday. I was in a Barnes & Noble helping get some stuff from gift certificates for the littles, for the kids. And Dylan and Tay met us there, and they brought Phoebe and Van with them. And it was me, Kim, Carter was with us. So that was the whole group. And it was a new one. These are one of these. I don't know if you've seen the new, like the new Barnes & Nobles.
No.
They're nice in there. Holy shit.
Really?
Yeah, real up their
Good
game.
for them on on not saying, well, let's just ride out our existing properties until Amazon swallows us whole. Like they're actually making a fight of it. I like going to a bookstore. I mean, I know you do too.
Really enjoy one, yeah.
Well, even Barnes & Noble, I like. Independent ones, of course, I like. That's whatever. Sure. Oh my God, went to the greatest used record store. I
know you like those. Those are cool.
Yeah, like you walk in and you smell not just the cardboard from the albums, but incense that either is being burned in the store or just stuck to the psychedelic albums.
Yeah. Or the last guy that was in there left a little stank, if you know what I mean.
Right, easily could have been. I bought. I haven't put it in. I need to put the record holder back up, but I did pick up Steely Dan's greatest hits.
Oh, good.
Because it is just their stuff from 72 to 78. So it's like
the best stuff.
This is the best of.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's their era. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So it was like that. We go into this Barnes & Noble. It's a little like that. The smell is almost overwhelming with like books and covers and the smell of new paint because it's new. Mm-hmm. And apparently they're opening like 16 more. Like they're growing. I don't know what's going on at Barnes & Noble, but apparently things are okay.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's good. So we're in there walking around doing our thing. And I get to they have a huge area for comic books like always and science fiction and all that. And they have a giant manga section. And I make a joke out loud and my kids are there and they're used to stupid jokes like this. And I go, do you think I'm supposed to go and browse this aisle from right to left?
Oh,
like because the books are all right to left.
That,
it's a fun little book.
Right to left.
Yeah, and I say it out loud, and as I say it, I turn and I see a lady who works there, stern looking woman, just stern face, and she's probably stern all the time. But she looks at me. I
was gonna ask you if that was her
default,
her default face. Yeah,
she had resting stern face.
Resting stern face.
RSF,
exactly.
I guess is what you'd say. But I turned to look at her, or as I say it, it just happened to turn on to her. She's looking stern at me, stares at me for a hot second. It felt like an eternity, and then rolls her eyes and walks the other way. No smile, no smirk, nothing. She seemed very annoyed with my dumb joke. So,
well, you know what? It's sad for her.
She missed out.
She missed out.
Yep.
Yeah, I just found a map of like where Barnes & Noble's new stores are. Nothing yet in Colorado, but I'll put this in our Discord so you can see it. But this is
oh yeah, there we go.
2024 brand new store openings, and
this is exactly what I think they had this on the wall or something like this.
Oh, did they really? Okay.
Yeah, they were really pushing it. But the one, that one in Utah is the Draper store. Freaking beautiful in there. And they also remodeled another one and they're going with this new look. I can't even really describe it, except it's got kind of an old school feeling to it. You know, it used to, not that it was bad, but it was just like standard. You'd go in there and it felt like a Barnes and Noble, and everything was kind of sectioned off and carpeted and this and that. And this is a lot more like I don't know, like old world style. I can't even explain it. The shelves are just different. It's really, really nice. Cool. So yeah, I hope Colorado gets one because it's really neat. Really cool.
I found the ones that says stores on track to open before 2025. So in addition to the American Fork, or no, you went to the. Is it just Salt Lake or is it
Draper? But I don't know if they call it that. Draper. It might just be Salt Lake. I'm not sure.
Because there's one coming into Murray, or maybe just open in Murray, Utah. Park City, Utah is getting one. Like this long list, not a single Colorado in it.
What the heck, man?
Yeah,
I don't think it means we're reading and you're not, though. I don't think that.
I don't think so. That's what it means.
No,
Vegas is getting one, so maybe while we're there in April, I'll make a quick trip out to the Barnes.
You know what I think it might mean? It might mean they go. There's such a huge kids section now, like it's gigantic, and Utah has a lot of children.
Oh, could be. Yeah,
we lead the nation in kids under 18 or whatever it is. So it's possible it's like just I don't know. You strike gold here when it's kids. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good point.
Had a great time. Hey, cool. Quick note that Playdate is tomorrow. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve, and you'd say, well, aren't you just taking it off? No. We're not sacrificing. We're coming in the morning at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to have a Playdate. We're going to play a bunch of Jackbox games. I'm going to try to find some 2024 Drawful trivia.
Yeah,
because you can download these codes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try that.
Drawful words or drawful subjects.
Yeah, it's like a play pack that someone made, and I have tons of them in like video games, movies, and pop culture. But I'm gonna try to see if I can find something that's like, hey, it's a new year, so what did the last year have? And I haven't found anything yet. I'm gonna try for that. If not, whatever. We're still gonna have fun. But we're gonna play, and this is for everybody. So anybody who wants to come, hang out, play a bunch of games. Frogpants.tv tomorrow 9 a.m. normal TMS time. For those that come up live. If you don't usually come to the show live and you have the day off, we'd love to have you here. So swing by, hang out with us, and let's play some games tomorrow. Okay?
Yes, very good. And yes, you can play without a Discord microphone. It helps if you have a microphone. You can join us in the audio, but you can certainly play all these games without talking. You can chat in chat and say stuff. So
yeah, exactly. You're just like in the living room where you're deciding to be quiet. It's the same thing. So you could totally do it. All right. Well, that is awesome. Can't wait for that. That'll be tomorrow. And then the rest of the week. So the way it'll work, just for having your heads, Wednesday, no show. It's New Year's Day. We take that off. Thursday, we will be back. I don't know about Wendy. I got to find out, but I think she'll be here. Okay. And then Friday, TMS patron only, TMS Friday. That'll happen Friday. So kind of a normal week with the exception of a play date and the day off on New Year's. So, and then in the new year, New Year's
back to normal. Everything normal.
Everything normal.
Yeah.
You know, we got the film competition coming up, the TMS Film Fest.
Yeah, 30-second Film Fest.
Yeah. No entries yet.
So excited for that. That's all right. People are still working on their stuff. Get your stuff together, folks. 30-second Film Fest.
Yep.
The fake origin of a TMS meme.
That's right.
Have fun with that.
And the whole thing with rules and everything is up at frogpants.com/filmfest.
Cool.
Super easy.
Cool.
All right, let's get to some Dunaway time. We missed him lately.
Yeah, we did.
I guess we had him. Well, it's been a week for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we had him yesterday for FilmSack, but for TMS, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit. So we're going to add him to this here call. We're going to pull up the game. We're going to have some competition. It's going to be fun. You're all here for it. We're here for it.
Enjoy it.
That's right.
Going to,
if you
like it or not.
If you don't enjoy it, you're out of the family. Look who it is. It's Brian Dunaway joining us for the Monday Half-Asses. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I just tried to, it's just that weird part of the year where it's like, it's not quite over, but you can't really start the new stuff. So I'm just kind of, hanging out, doing the thing, do as much as I can, but not doing too much.
You working today?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah? Are you keeping it? Are you keeping it real?
Oh, I'm keeping it real.
Okay.
Loose.
Well,
I don't know who am I right now? I don't even know.
I don't know who you are. I have no idea. But I do know this. Brian's got some rules. We got some potential winners. We got all kinds of fun stuff lined up. So, hey, Brian, but why don't you explain how this works?
all that stuff is correct. Welcome to the Morning Half-Ass is a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving the two of you the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct and 3 of which, like a pair of extra feet underneath your gurney, are incorrect. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses, but if any of those guesses are wrong, they get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, 3 right gets you 5 points total.
Nice.
We're going to add all up those points. We're going to add all those points up at the end of the game, see who's got the most.
All up peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's right.
Exactly, a big old fruit roll up, and then we're going to give the prize to someone that is not you, someone that I've picked and assigned to you. Scott, you're going to be playing for Travis in North Carolina.
Nice, just north of Brian there. Take that.
Just north of Brian. Brian, you're going to be playing for Kian in Toronto, Ontario.
Just right above South Carolina.
Yeah.
Well above. Quite a ways above, but still above.
Yeah, it's above.
Everybody's north of you, Brian.
Yeah, you'll need a passport.
Represent.
Yeah, you'll need a passport to get there, at least for now.
For now. All right, let's get to your question number 1. We're movie guys. Let's start with movies.
Sweet.
Which of these were Oscar winners for Best Picture? Your choices are Mrs. Miniver, The Graduate. I put the wrong syllable. The Graduate, North by Northwest, Apocalypse Now, Dances with Wolves, and Around the World in 80 Days. 3 of these got Oscars. 3 of them did not.
Okay, so they won is the thing, not nominated.
Yes,
That's
Oscar
important.
winners for Best Picture.
Wiener. Oscar dinner.
Oscar dinner. I know one for 100%. It's the next 2 that I'm a little on edge here.
What's the one you're 100% on?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to say. All right. I know what I'm got a strategy.
Okay. All right. Well, you both centered on Dances with Wolves, and that is the 100% one that you both knew. Yeah. Dances with Wolves won in 1990 for the Best Picture. Brian, you also selected Apocalypse Now from 1979. That did not win the Best Picture. The other ones were Mrs. Miniver and Around the World in 80 Days. Graduate North by Northwest.
Smart.
I thought the 2 tricky ones there would have been. For a second, I had North by Northwest because I thought it was one of the possible not in your head ones. But Graduate and Apocalypse Now seem like locks, right? Like they should have won.
Like they should have won.
Yeah, those are the Pulp Fictions and the Shawshank Redemptions of their year, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, Scott, 1 point. You can win this whole thing with 1 point.
Yeah.
Let's go to question number 2, see if you can hold on to that. We all know our classical music. How about sonatas by Beethoven? Which of these are real sonatas by Beethoven? The Concord Sonata, the Waldstein Sonata, the Sonata Pathétique, the Moonlight Sonata, the Hyundai Sonata, and the Black Mass Sonata.
You try not to laugh while saying it. I love it.
I also tried to get through really fast.
Notice it.
Yeah, people, you got to make it so people go, wait, what? I was like, hold on.
Sonata and
I think I know. I think I know too.
Guess I didn't know. All right. Let's see. You guys both locked in on the Moonlight Sonata. Of course, that was the gimme in this round. Scott, you also went for the Concord Sonata. That is not a real Beethoven sonata.
Damn it!
The Waldstein or Steen and the Sonata Pathétique are the other 2 real ones. The Hyundai Sonata is a car. The Black Mass Sonata is a Scriabin. I don't know what that is. And the Concord
just
Sonata
said
is
you compare something that I do not know to something that also I do not know.
There you go. All right, excellent.
You know what annoyed me about this one is I was aiming for German sounding things. Because he's Beethoven, famously a German composer, right? So I thought Concord sounded kind of German. Because Pathétique sounds French. It is French, as far as I know.
It is French, yep.
Yeah,
yep.
so...
Waldstein definitely very Austrian composer, not a German composer.
Is that the pathetic sonata? Is that what this is?
It seems like it would be, right?
Pathétique.
Pathétique. Yeah. That's how I would translate that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's get to question number 3. Look at this. You guys are going to this last question tied, but you're both artists. You guys know your art, your colors.
Sure.
Which of these are shades of red? Chartreuse, carmine, argent, ecru, carnelian, and sinopia. Which of these are
Lord.
shades of red? Which I think was a movie. Wasn't there a movie called Shades of Red? I know that Super Snooper, Super Fuzz, was weak when he saw the color red. I think Bruce Willis also, in that dirty movie he did, had a problem when he saw the color red.
I don't remember.
What the heck was that movie? It was like he showed his ween in that movie.
Oh, really? I'm into that.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm not really into it. So people know.
Let me tell you, he didn't die hard.
No, he did not. He died soft.
What the heck was that movie? Anyway, all right. So, which of these are shades of red?
All right. I'm gonna say this one, and I'm gonna say these three. There you go. I've chosen.
Going deep.
Hey, Dunaway, I've chosen three.
Chosen three.
You probably got all three of them.
Brian locked in long before you did that. So as far as the strategy goes,
damn it.
It doesn't mean
All right, I only locked in with one then.
Yeah. That's it. Icor, The Color of Night. That was the one with where Bruce Willis freaked out when he saw the color red and it was all.
Oh yeah, and in the pool he had his wiener
swimming
out.
pool.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Well, you guys went with different ones. Scott, you went with Carmine or Carmen. Carmen is a shade of red.
Nice.
So there's a guaranteed point for you. Now, Brian went for 2. And if he got both of these correct, then he's going to win the game.
I was just shooting fish and I'm just pew, 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 pew.
All right.
Brian, you went with carnelian.
Which I think is red.
It is red because it's like meat. Carnelian.
Yeah. The other one I wasn't sure about for some reason. I was like, is this right?
Yeah,
it sounds familiar.
You went with chartreuse. And no, chartreuse is a yellow-green. Ecru is like a beige, grayish brown, and argent is a silver. And it's funny because I always thought when I did this question myself beforehand, I said, "Oh, well, argent is totally red." And I don't know where I got that, but I always connected the color or the argent with red.
Do you want to see how you effed with my mind a little bit though, Brian?
Yeah.
So you just said what they were, but because our wrong answers are purple, or because Brian's selections are purple, and mine are orange, none of this felt right. It all felt my brain was weird.
You see that thing that's read these colors or say the color that each word is, and it's a different word for the color. And
that's tang.
It's real. It's tang colored. What the hell's going on?
Right, exactly. Well, good job, Scott. You won this one. Just 2 points is all you needed, and you did it.
Look at that.
So congratulations. Which means that Travis Morton in North Carolina, you are getting a copy of Pago Forest Tower Defense and Degrees of Separation, which is a Kevin Bacon game, I believe. So congratulations. But Brian, I'm sorry, not Brian. Well, your person was Kian, and he's going away with a copy of Alchemist Adventure, which
that's good.
Is it? This is the first time in a long time I have not heard of any of these games. I usually know at least half of them. Yeah, I don't know what any of these are at this time. Yeah. So you're all winners to me until you play them and find out if they're good or not. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well done, everybody involved. Hey, Brian Dunaway. Great hearing your voice again on TMS. Excited to have you back.
I missed you guys last week. We're back. We're doing it.
Yeah. We had a great film sack, though.
Just in time to take Wednesday off. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, no Wednesday. But a reminder.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was really good. I was ending the year on a killer movie like that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
So good. Yeah.
Go check it out if you haven't, filmsack.com. Play Retro will be this Friday at 1:30 Mountain Time. And Dunaway, tell the fine people what they can look forward to in the retro world.
Sure enough, we're playing Eternal Champions. That how big was it? The 24 meg card or whatever it was on.
Oh wow.
It was something huge. It wasn't 24 meg. It was something like that.
It's like 100 meg, wasn't it? 100 meg? I thought it was. No?
We're going to find out. I'm still doing research. This is just day one for me on the Eternal Champions, but it was on that, and it was on the CD, and there was a planned third one for the Sega Saturn. Never happened. I'm super excited about talking about it, though.
If you guys never played Eternal Champions was their attempt at Sega to rival something like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all of that. And it was Sega like, we can do that. We can make a game like that. And we
can have a time traveler sucking people from different times and get a caveman who does martial arts.
Yeah.
So that's how you get your battlers. They're all different
time zone.
At a time.
Yeah. So like
moments before they died, he yanked them out and said, "Let's go fight."
Yeah, go fight. For some reason, you have like a giant fish hook grappling hook with this dude from the 20s.
From Atlantis.
I mean, that's totally Aquaman's like arm hook, hand hook thing.
Yeah, that guy, the fish guy's fine, but look, see, he's got a little hook in his pants. This guy in the suit.
Oh, yeah.
It's really weird.
Those are handcuffs, aren't they?
Oh, they're right. You know what? Those are handcuffs. My brain was like,
when you think about it,
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
When you think about it, handcuffs are kind of like hooks.
yeah, a little bit.
They are. They're hooks for your wrists.
I just remember at the time being way into this happening, and I bought it immediately and spent too much money. It was like a $70 cartridge when I bought it. Stupid, stupid, stupid. But we'll talk about it.
You've been struck by a 16-bit criminal.
I can hear the chiptune music even now. Dunaway, it's been a pleasure, and we can't wait to see you again in one Earth Week.
Can't wait.
Bye now. Kiss our butts. I got him.
Got him.
One last one before the year ends. I got him. I don't like my chances in 2025, but I got him for now.
You got him now.
We got time for a couple of quick news stories, so let's do those. Here we go. Where is it? It's the news, and it's brought to you by...
Guess who's back? Back again. Why, it's our own 9 of 12, and she's streaming as part of the Diamond Group Streamathon this year, and you can find all you need to know and donate at Extra Life at dcstreamathon.org/9 of 12. Go put that whole thing in there and see Ember's really cool little portrait and bio and all that stuff. Help kids hang with September. 2 great things. What else could you ask for 2024?
I agree. Get in there, help her out. It's all part of their Streamathon. They're helping the Extra Life Network, like always, and she's awesome, as you know.
Oh, show.
So support her today.
I'm worried we might not get to see them at Vegas this year. They might not make it.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Unemployment's still rearing its ugly head. So hoping that changes and they can still make it out. If not, then we got to find some other person who can attempt to fill her shoes in organizing the karaoke thing.
Yeah, how's that even possible?
I don't know.
How do you even have Vegas without 9 of 12?
Exactly. I don't know how it's possible even to do it.
All right, 5 of 13. We're looking at you, buddy.
Right.
I hope they make it. That would be great.
I hope so too.
Here's your story. Father of 5, 9 of 12, father of 5, dies. It's a little darker news story today. After a bear he was hunting fell on him from a tree. So the bear didn't even attack him. Just fell off the tree and killed him.
Fell.
Yeah.
That's funny. Did he shoot the bear and it fell on him, or it doesn't look like it looks like the bear just was in the tree and fell on him.
Just fell on him. He was trying to get him, trying to shoot him. And that's why I don't feel that bad. When we mess with nature this way and it goes bad, people want everyone to feel really bad, but I'm telling you, the part of the risk is A, that you're going to die, and B, that nature wins. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. If this is what you do, well, then them's the breaks. I don't know.
Exactly. You live by the hunt, die by the hunt, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, a Virginia hunter has died from injuries he suffered when a bear that he and others were tracking fell from a tree and landed on him, according to the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources, or the VDWR.
Ooh.
Venereal disease,
I was going to say, that does not begin well, the VDWR.
You never want VD in there.
No.
The Virginia Department of Everything has a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was alerted to a hunting accident around 9:50 a.m. on December 9th. This was about 130 kilometers southwest of the state capital in Richmond. I love that the National Post is using kilometers and not miles.
Using kilometers, yeah. Good for you guys. You push that. Let's do it.
Let's keep going. 2025, the year we move to metric. That'd be amazing.
Sure. I don't see that.
No. There'd be some opposition in certain places, I think.
America first. Forget it.
That's British first. Wait a minute. How do we get...
Wait a minute. That's a European thing.
We should just measure it by beaver pelts. Anyway. It says here the preliminary investigation found that Lester Clayton Harvey Jr. I'm sorry, but that's the most hunter-ass name I've ever heard in my life.
It also feels like it's a third of you too, but maybe not.
Lester Clayton Harvey Jr.
Lester Clayton Harvey Jr.
He was part of a group of hunters who followed a bear until it climbed up to a tree to escape them, as you would, because it's a freaking bear in the nature and you shouldn't be shooting bears.
Hey, boo-boo, I'm just gonna climb up this... Oh.
Weak branch. Oh.
Watch out, Yogi.
Yogi. Ask your uncle, I guess.
Right, yeah.
I realize how old that sounds now. Anyway, 58-year-old was transported to the VCU Medical Center in Richmond in serious but stable condition. However, he succumbed to his injuries and passed away on the 13th. Department said they're not seeking to file charges related in the incident, according to the obituary. I don't need to know about all that. Self-employed contractor and avid outdoorsman. This guy was described as shooting bears. That's what you do.
A friend to all and never met a stranger, but apparently not a friend of bears.
No,
apparently.
no, yeah. Not of the bears. Not those. Not maybe the Idaho Bears.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Passenger blasted for bringing emotional support Great Dane on an airplane. And I quote,
as you do.
I quote, "This shit is getting out of hand," unquote. The sight of this rough rider gave a frightened attendant pause. They spelled it like PAWS. Chat room. Yeah. I think you should all be upset about this, not just Brian and I.
Yahoo.com. And it's not even a HuffPo.
No. HuffPo's supposed to have all the dumb, stupid stuff they say. And her scowl is now breeding contempt online. Emotional support. Her scowl? Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to understand. Why would a dog scowls? I don't get it.
Oh, is that come from the? No, I think it's the.
Because look at the way it's written. The sight of this rough rider gave flight attendants pause, and her scowl is now breeding contempt online. Breeding, I get.
Yeah.
Scowl?
Yeah.
Dogs don't scowl. They just have.
No, I think unless it's the flight attendant scowl.
I should say growl, or.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something better than this. This is dumb. Yeah. Emotional support pets come in all shapes, sizes, and species, but when a gigantic Great Dane accompanied its owner into a small jet for a recent flight, one cabin crew member grimaced, made it clear that the canine wouldn't be receiving much puppy love while flying the friendly skies. Jeez. This article really makes me want to die. Really.
Stop.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It stepped on the lady's foot. That's why it hurt her.
Oh, gotcha.
Because they're a big, heavy dog. I get
They
it.
are. Yeah, it's like it's friggin' Marmaduke. She brought Marmaduke on a plane.
But they're such great.
Ask your uncle.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my gosh. At least they made that movie, right? Some kids know what it is.
Yeah, right.
But I love Great Danes. They're the sweetest animals ever. They don't want to hurt a fly. But I'm also going to just say, I think as a emotional support animal, totally for it. It's fine. I think picking a Great Dane is going, whether or not they should give you heat, it's going to cause trouble when you take that thing on a plane. It just is. It's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big. If that thing gets diarrhea, what are you gonna do?
That's where you go. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you've got a small little, chow or something, you can deal with it.
Right.
But
I'm thinking more about like the legroom, because you don't have to buy a seat for a Shih Tzu.
No,
it's like it's gonna sit on the floor by your feet and curl up and not take up any space. Probably even easily fit in a little carrier underneath the seat in front of you. But this dog is going to need, like, if you're sitting next to this person, they've got a Great Dane, you're giving up some major leg room for sure.
Or at the very least, you're giving up massive aisle space. Like, it's going to have to be in the aisle space.
They wouldn't let this thing. That's a safety issue. They would not let this the Great Dane just sit in the aisle.
Yeah. So how does it even fit in there? They'd have to buy two seats or something. Like, the Great Danes are monstrous.
I think the person who's bringing it on the plane probably has to like bunch up her body on the seat, like pull her legs onto the seat, and then have the dog stand. I don't know.
I don't know either. They're so big. Yeah. They're like small horses. They're that big. So I don't know how they did it. All I'm saying is, again, I'm sure this is the sweetest animal. I'm sure it's been trained to be a great emotional support animal. But that thing is, if it's standing in the aisle and there's a guy sitting across from it, his head is lower than the back of that freaking dog. That's how tall they are. I just don't think. I don't know. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying think about it.
No, he's huge. There's a photo. I skipped over it, but there's a photo.
Oh, was there?
Right when he's in the. He did get his own seat, so I guess she must have bought a seat for him, or was sitting in a place that that there wasn't somebody in the seat next to her. But the dog is like way above. The dog could hit its head on the overhead bins. Is what's going on.
Look at how big it is, and I want to lay with it. I want to get on a couch and never leave with it. I understand, but I just don't know if, as a polite society, if we should be bringing small horses on planes. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break.
Yeah, I think emotional support animal, as long as it can fit in the same carry-on bag shaped little tester thing.
Yeah, Brian, let's look at it this way. Here you go. You're allowed to bring an iPad or a small tablet device on a plane, right?
Right.
Like
right.
it can be as big as that, and you're good.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
You might have to run it through the scanner. You might have to do other things in security, but otherwise, you just have it in there. It's great. They welcome that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you walked in there with a 55 to 60 inch television and said, "This
Right.
is my emotional support tablet, and I have to work this way," you wouldn't be allowed to have that in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do say, right? Like you could bring a personal device, your work laptop or whatever. And there's some big ass freaking laptops on there with like open folding screens and stuff like that.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to bring a curved 60-inch gaming screen in there.
Right.
So I know people get touchy because it's their pets. I get it. I understand there's a different emotional attachment to that and not objects, but I don't know. It's too much. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Steven Schleicher will join us. It'll be also his last segment of the year. And he's got kind of a bit of a countdown, kind of a coolest stuff of the year deal.
I love this. Yeah.
Yeah, excited about this. So get your nerd on. He's coming in right after this song Brian brought. What'd you bring?
Brought something brand new from the Rumjacks. They've got a brand new album that they're going to be releasing on February 7th of next year via 4/4 Records. This was produced by Pete Steinkopf from Beach Slang and the Menzingers and Brian Fallon. This is one of the two new tracks. This one you're just going to love. It's called An Irish Goodbye on St. Valentine's Day. How appropriate. This thing's got some jig in it. Love it. Here are the Rumjacks.
Oh, yes.
You can't tell me what to do.
Those were all Martin Short, by the way. In the
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's
from Only Bird Is in the Building or something.
No, it's from the Barbie cartoons that were very popular for a few years there. They're 3D animated kids cartoons. Apparently, he played the bad guy in those. So
gotcha.
I just found this somewhere and went, well, he sure squeals a lot in this. Let's go ahead and make a little combo there. Thanks to Carter for that. Anyway, hey Brian, tell me about this song one more time.
Yeah, that's a song called An Irish Goodbye on St. Valentine's Day. It is just one of all the songs that you'll get on the brand new album called Dead Anthems from the Rumjacks. That album comes out February 7th via 4/4 Records. Go check it out. Pre-order it today.
Available now, soon. Not now, then. Available then.
That song is available now. The rest of them available soon.
Soon, then.
And now welcome Steven to the show. He's a huge freaking nerd.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah, it's true. He's a huge freaking nerd. And he's here to join us like he does so many Mondays. Hello, Steven. Welcome back to the show. Oh, we don't hear him. He's muted.
Yep.
Some sort of mutation going on there. Muted, mutified, muticinal.
Muticelary.
Yeah. So muted that even he can't hear himself. He can't hear us either.
He can't hear us.
We can't hear you either. Well, let's see what that's about. I don't think that's us. That would be a him thing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Check your deal. Push your stuff.
Your mic and your headphones, and he can't hear me suggest any of that.
Nope. What you say to him is not being heard, and what we
will be withheld from our ears.
That's right. Well, let's see. Is there anything I can do on this end to check? Let's see. Mute. Nope. He's not muted. Check thine audio settings. This seems obvious, but he'll do that. Oh, yeah. Did I hear something? No. I thought I did. Nope, didn't hear it. That was something else.
Something else. Really something else.
I hear him now.
Here we go, and we can hear him.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. What was that about? That was weird.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid computers.
Okay.
Computers, man. What are they even good at? What are they for
Well, let's
anymore?
give him an intro.
I know.
Yeah, we'll give you a proper intro.
I don't think computers have a.
Ooh, you're saying a little weird. Did we lose you again?
Copy.
Oh, I think we lost
still
him.
there?
Everything okay?
Oh, now you're back.
Yep.
I think you're back.
It got choppy there for a second.
Yeah. I think you're good now. Say something so I can hear you.
All right. Hello, Scott. Hello, Brian. It is so good to be here.
It is good to have
End of
you.
2024.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I have a feeling we may have some massive lag, but we'll find out shortly.
Lag, but we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take you.
Again.
We'll take you in. Yeah, it's whatever that thing was happening one time. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was dumb.
God, I hate computers.
Computers are dumb. Well, let's try this, see how it goes, and then worst case, I guess we could have you on your phone if we had to. That would work.
That's true. Yeah.
We've done that before.
That's fine.
Well, let's see how this goes. Let's talk about Steven and his top 5 comic stories of the year. And let's start with number 5 because Marvel did a thing. They canceled all the X-Men. How does that feel?
No. Oh, man. That's okay. They got better.
Yeah. Are they? So you're telling me they weren't seriously killing the entire run of all X-Men comics?
They decided.
No, but it
here's
makes
our
good
cash
PR.
cow,
This
we're
is-
gonna end it.
Yeah. So what actually happened there, and what do we have now as a result?
So the what is it? The Kenosha era of the X-Men came to an end. This big long arc where all the X-Men were jiving and grooving together, and that story came to an end. And so they were like, okay, so what happens post Kenosha? Or Genosha, I forget what the name is. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll just relaunch everybody with a new number 1. And of course, by June, everybody's got new number 1s, and we're, I think, 4 or 5 issues in for most of the X-Men titles. And they actually are doing really well. A lot of people are really digging the new stuff. Gail Simone is writing one of the X-Men titles. People really dig that. There's Sentinel comics on the way. There was a new Time Slide series with Cable that launches this week, January 1st. So yeah, plenty of X-Men. Don't everybody freak out. Plenty of X-Men just waiting for you at your comic book store.
And so Genosha, just for the uninformed, it's like their little secret city they made, so they could all live there in peace and not deal with normies.
If anybody died, they would be instantly brought back to life with all their memories. So
yeah. Are you? Is this a sign that they're now like, well, I guess we're just hanging out with real people again? I mean, that's just our life now. Is that how
that's basically the thing. There's some anti-mutant backlash that's going on. Like Professor X, one of the big creators of this Everybody Get Along project, is now on the run. So there will be a 6-issue arc kicking off in February or March, where Professor X is being hunted by other X-Men.
Oh, wow.
To atone for his crime.
And this is walking around wearing the helmet X.
Right, the Cerebro helmet.
Yes, that guy.
Professor X.
This dude here, yeah. So if you haven't seen that, you can never really tell. He's like Daft Punk. You really don't know how old he is or anything in there. He's just like,
and he wears a Marvel logo on his crotch too. Apparently.
Yeah, he does.
Marvel at my crotch.
My X-Men. Marvel at my crotch.
Small.
I've got a helmet
That's a pretty
on.
small Marvel logo.
It is, yeah.
That's true. Well, anyway, that's exciting. I didn't know this had happened, except you told us in May and I forgot. So
I forgot too.
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. That's awesome. So do you recommend any of the newer books?
Yeah, I think people can pick and choose. You have different. If you want to have. You've got the Sentinels, which is like, what if the X-Men are working for the government in a wet works kind of thing? If you want your X-Force team, you've got that. If you want Teenage Mutants, you've got NYX. If you want following a particular character, you've got Wolverine and Cable and Phoenix and all of those. So it's not like you're going to be hurting for comics.
Yeah.
And they do this quite a bit. That's my one negative about Marvel is that if Brian Ibbott is writing a series on, Brian's favorite character is
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, of course. Everyone knows that.
MODOK.
So Brian writes a 12-issue run of Spider-Man, and when Brian's first issue comes out, they're going to say, it's a new volume, it's a new number 1, and then when it gets to issue 12, then they're going to say, well, that's the end of Brian Ibbott's run, now it's Scott Johnson's turn to take on Spider-Man, so an all-new era of Spider-Man begins now, and either everything has been reset to the way it was before Brian started writing, or they will assume that people understand what has gone before.
It's like Marvel has just decided that we're never going to beat DC in high numbers of issues because they're always going to be ahead of us.
Right.
So let's go the exact opposite way and just create a whole crap ton of number 1s.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but here's the other thing, right? Because Marvel likes to play both sides. So the old timers, they have a legacy number on every cover. So even though it may be Brian Ibbett writes Spider-Man #2, right underneath that, it'll be legacy number like 976.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
well, that's not confusing at all.
That makes it easy for you to know where to put it in your comic, your lung box, right?
Yeah.
But still.
That's a good point. I guess if you're a collector, this is a helpful thing to have. But
it's about the only positive I can make from that. It's irritating everything else about it.
Well, in terms of, you mentioned Phoenix, let's talk about Jean Grey and the news that we got back in, what was this? I don't remember when this was.
Oh yeah, this is all part of
it was part of that, yeah.
The new relaunches and everything. But yeah, if people are into Phoenix or, like I said, NYX or X-Force, those titles are all available.
How about the return? This happened in May. The return of EC Comics. That was a big deal.
Yeah, so EC Comics is a big, kind of a big milestone in comic book history because during the big witch hunts in the 1950s, they really targeted with Frederick Wortham's 10-Cent Plague book that comic books were bad, that comic books caused kids to go crazy and commit crimes and homosexuality and all this stuff. And so when the government brought comic book publishers up on the stand to testify, Wortham got up there and just bombed and just had disdain for everything that the government was doing. And of course, the other comic book publishers had all said, well, we kind of already agreed that we would create our own guidelines so that the government wouldn't regulate us. And so they wrote these guidelines, specifically a lot of them targeting EC Comics horror lines, because that's what everybody was up in arms against. And it essentially forced EC Comics to go out of business. The only surviving comics out of EC Comics was a little comic called Mad Magazine. And so Vault of Horror and the Crypt Keeper and all of these comics and characters just basically went away. Ironically or unironically, by the 1970s, a lot of horror comics are back in print, but not the scary stuff from EC until Oni Press this last year decided that they would bring back the EC imprint, bring back the type of horror tales that were told back in the day for modern audiences, of course.
Yeah.
And they've had a really good run of that for Oni Press, an indie publisher, a small publisher. They've been doing really well with their EC Comics line. And I think they've got like 4 or 5 different titles currently in their EC line. And I think they'll have a few more in 2025.
Their titles, the names of these are amazing. Epitaphs from the Abyss.
That's one of their new ones. That's their new anthology.
Love that. They launched. Yeah. Cruel Universe is another newer one, but there's really sticking with that vibe, right? The old school vibe of everything.
And the fonts and the types of covers that you would expect.
Love it.
And they've got a variety of artists and writers on board that are really good writers and artists. Like I think on the Epitaphs from the Abyss, Garth Ennis is one of the creators on that series.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good get, having him in there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: is why Oni Press? That surprises me that it's such a. Well, I guess I shouldn't think of them as small anymore. They're kind of a big deal, right?
No, they're kind of a big deal. They've got the Rick and Morty comics come out from Oni Press. They've done really, really well. I think they've been around for like 25 years. So they have a track record of small independent comics. They've got licensed comics that they have done, and I think maybe they were one of the few, if only, companies that were interested in doing this. Yeah. And everyone else was just like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want. We've got our own horror comics. So, every comic publisher right now has some kind of a gruesome comic book line that is perfect for a horror fan out there. Right. And I think all of that really started with Image Comics and The Walking Dead kind of bringing back some of that classic horror monster stuff.
I agree.
From 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, great way of bringing it all back, I suppose. DC Comics, their compact comics have arrived. This happened in June, and that was well received. People like that, right?
This thing has gone over like syrup on pancakes.
Well, that's good.
You were talking. There's been a lot of discussion in the last couple of weeks about how do we get kids to read comics, and the answer is kids are reading comics. My 2 kids have never picked up a floppy comic of DC or Marvel or Oni or any of that stuff. And yet they read more comics than I do. They read from a young age. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dogman, Captain Underpants, Hilo. They've now transitioned into all the manga comics that are out there. And they've read those to extremes to where, if Netflix launches a new anime series, I'm like, have you guys seen this? They're like, oh, yeah, we read the manga already. So kids are reading comics. And Scott, when you went to your Barnes & Noble experience and cracking dad jokes in front of grumpy old ladies, you have to say, well, what is it about the size of a manga comic published by Viz Media and others? Kodansha is another publisher of manga here in the U.S. What is one of the things that sets those things apart? Well, number one, they have a long shelf life. Number two, they are of a smaller size. And so when DC relaunched this compact series, they're basically making them the size of those manga comics that you're seeing on the shelves. Now, the art is reduced, the lettering is reduced, so some of us olds might have a problem reading really tiny word balloons like the Watchmen in a 9-panel grid. Might be really hard to read for the olds, but the youngs have been scooping that stuff up. So much so that DC has launched a second wave, maybe even a third wave of compact comics, and these are just basically trade paperbacks of some of their greatest stories. But if you can walk down the manga aisle and you see Hunter x Hunter right next to Huntress, or you go down and you're seeing whatever Beyblade or whatever the B word is, and you see a Batman right next to it, you're probably going to pick that one up too and read it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And also some of these collections, like Batman Hush is one of my all-time freaking favorite runs of anything.
Great. Yeah.
Watchmen's an easy pick, of course. Wonder Woman Earth 1, great run. Like, this is great. I didn't know... I guess I didn't fully form in my head what this meant. Like, it really was just a format adjustment for a market they weren't penetrating, and it sounds like it worked. So that's great.
Yeah, because now all of those books, Barnes & Noble is going to have no problem taking those in. Comic book stores, I don't know what their reaction has been to this, because they already sell full-size trade paperbacks. They sell floppies, but they're also having this issue of how do we bring the youngs in? It's like, well, put some Pokemon cards in your rack, or get some younger reader, bring more manga in, and you will bring those kids in. And I think DC is just saying, hey, we can get these into bookstores a lot easier than our floppies or our trades.
Well, there you have it. There's also this note about the superhero trademark struck down. This happened September, so not too long ago.
Late September.
How'd that go?
You can keep calling things superheroes.
Yep, you can do it without a problem, because both superhero as one word and super-heroes were both a shared trademark by Marvel and DC. This was from something from the 1960s that was then transferred over to dual sharing by the companies, which is fairly rare. But then there was a small publisher in the UK that wanted to have like superhero babies or something like that. And DC sent a cease and desist saying, no, you can't do it. And they're like, well, why not? You guys haven't been protecting your trademark for all these years. So they went to court. DC didn't show up. And so the judge was like, yeah, we're striking down the trademark on both of these. So feel free to use superhero, super-heroes in any of your podcast titles, your book titles, whatever. And you won't have to worry about Marvel and DC coming after you.
Interesting. I didn't know DC just was a no-show at that thing.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing about that. And I did a whole interview with the lawyer of this case.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I was like, well, why didn't, you got all these cease and desists and you were going to court and everything. What happened? And he's like, they didn't show up.
Wild.
And it may just, so you can listen to that over on the Major Spoilers podcast from September of 2024.
All right. Check that out. And then finally, James Gunn's Superman got a trailer, most viewed trailer in comic book trailer history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also the biggest viewed trailer. I think it's only behind a Star Wars thing or two. Like it's like second or third all time or something like that. Or it's on track to. I can't remember what the current status is, but
amazing. I mean, it's well deserved. It's a great trailer.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it brings the feels, and of course, there's a bunch of people who are being angry at this. I think you have a bunch of the Zack Snyder bros that are just like, "Oh, bring back Zack Snyder." Then you have a bunch of disingenuous people who are just angry to be angry, and then there are people who I don't think have ever read a comic book, because Nathan Fillion comes out as Guy Gardner.
Right.
Oh,
Nathan Fillion comes out as Guy Gardner, and everyone's like, "That's the dumbest haircut I've ever seen." It's like.
It's comic accurate.
Comic accurate haircut.
But these are the same. These are the same people who'd never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy and could not deal with a tree and a raccoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before they see the movie, they're just like, "What is this in this trailer? A raccoon that talks? That's stupid." It's like, all right, you big bunch of dumb shits. Wait for it to come out. Maybe then watch the movie. You'll be fine. Like I have is there a negative patience number? Because that's what I have right now for these people. I'm stoked about this. I can't wait to see how it all works out. If it's great, great for us. If it's bad, well, we'll learn our lesson. But either way, it looks great. I think crypto's amazing. I think that they finally made a Clark Kent who looks very different than Superman.
Different.
Yes, believably fooling people around him into who he is. I think it's great.
Yeah. I'm shocked how well that looks, even though it's a broccoli head haircut, but whatever.
I will not be surprised if that haircut becomes super popular. In fact, I've got a 13-year-old.
Again.
Yeah, I have a 13-year-old who is going to go get a hairstyle this week in a K-pop style. And it won't surprise me if he's got that Superman do or the Clark Kent do by the end of the week.
Well, I can't wait to find out how that all goes. There you go. Look at the bigger stuff of the year from Major Spoilers. And always a segment that I love doing on the show, regardless of your computer. It doesn't matter.
I know. Stupid computer.
It's fine. This is the year of the best of your best computer year ever, Stephen. I can just feel it.
I hope it is, Scott.
I really can. We wish you nothing but a great new year, and I look forward to the next time you're on, which will be 2025. You got anything fun planned for New Year's? You can do anything cool?
No, we're just keeping things cool over at majorspoilers.com. We've got a couple of podcasts that'll come out later this week. But if you enjoyed this top 5, I would ask that people go check out our top 5 podcast, where every other week we share our top 5 whatevers in a list. It could be movies, could be songs, could be comic books, cartoon characters. It's a totally random spin the wheel kind of topic, but it's always a lot of fun. You can find it at any podcast outlet, wherever fine podcasts are sold.
That's right. I love it. A podcast outlet. That's just like 2 steps away from like a podcast concern.
Podcast outlet. Everyone.
Yeah. I'd go there. You kidding me? Keith and the girl. Whatever, man. Totally. All right, dude. Stay out of trouble. We'll see you soon.
I know.
All right. Excellent. Love talking to Steven, even when his computer's poopy. Poopy. Yeah. I have a quick recommendation for people. If you're in the Salt Lake area and you are craving some of the best pizza you'll ever have in your life, we went to a place called Oakwood Fire Kitchen. I think there are 2 of these in town now. It is a local thing, though. Freaking stupidly good food. I was blown away by this food. Even the appetizers. We got a lotte bread dip thing for a what do you call it? Appetizer.
Appetizer. Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. So good. Just blew my freaking mind. The pizza's insane, and I got this sandwich thing that was like a specialty sandwich. It's basically kind of flatbread with a bunch of pizza type stuff in it, but it wasn't just pizza it wasn't like a pizza sandwich. It was more than that. I didn't even know how to describe it. Unbelievably good, and the prices were all right. So I'm just saying, if you're in town, go to Oakwood Fire Kitchen. It was so freaking good. Service was great.
Kinda, like thick crust, thin crust? What style?
Thin, kind of, I wouldn't say medium crust. Closer to thin than medium, but still not quite like thin crust, but very authentic. They have this honey glazed pepperoni thing they do that is just, oh my gosh, knock my freaking socks off. We were blown away. We didn't expect it to be as good as it was, and it was so good. So I can't recommend it enough. There's a location in Draper and one in, I forgot where the other one is, somewhere in Salt Lake. Okay. Go get it. Oakwood Fire Kitchen if you're here in the state.
Oakwood Fire Kitchen.
Oakwood Fire Kitchen. Also, today, noon, Monday show, me, Carter, together, father, daughter, doing it, making it happen. All right? So that'll be today at noon. Check it out, frogpants.tv if you want to watch it live, and check out the podcast later at frogpants.com/Monday. All things for this show can be found at frogpants.com/TMS. Brian, you got anything else before we go?
Got nothing else. Quick movie recommendations. Saw Sonic 3, binged the first 2, and then went to the theater while Tina was going to a cancer group dinner thing. Went to the theater solo, had a great time. Little kid, toddler next to me in the seat, could not sit still though. Like had the whole run of the seat, was jumping up and down and had a great time. Whatever. He enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the movie. Sonic 3, very, very funny.
Well, that's great.
A very funny visual gag that they do in there for people who grew up in the Sega world.
It sounded like from your posts I read that you are a you've now a Sonic fan of the movies.
Sonic fan, a fan of the Sonic movies. Yeah, the first 2 is still streaming. Go watch them. There's enough in there to please adults. The jokes that go over the kids' heads, really funny, and then the stuff they do, and the little bit of fourth wall breaking that's great in the third one. I mean, it's a really good time. All three movies are a good time, and what's his face, Ben Schwartz, makes a great Sonic. Does a great voice.
Nice. Well, I liked it too. I like the first two quite a bit. They're surprisingly good for what they are.
Yeah.
So I will have to see 3. Maybe I'll take the boy or something like that. All right, that's going to do it for us. Brian, let's play a song and get out of here. What do you got?
Yeah, I've got a song in my heart. This one's going out to Scooby Dad, a.k.a. Bob Decker. He says, hey, Scone and Biscuit, it's my 70th trip around El Sol.
Jeez.
And after last year's 69th birthday song, my 69th birthday song was great. Got tons of fun and people laughing for the 69th birthday. Little hint to what you played. Mr. Sandman was the #1 song when I was born, so I'm sure you can find a great cover of it. Can I get an sausage? Adore the program, nevertheless.
Oh my gosh. Yes, let's do this one.
Sausage.
At least 2 other extra seconds, right? At least.
That's definitely gotten longer. Yeah.
Nice.
And the Wraith, yes, just to quickly answer his question, he says, Sonic movie better than Mario movie? Yes.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You heard it from Brian.
I thought the Super Mario movie was fine, but I think all 3 Sonic movies, they like the jokes in them definitely land better for me than the Mario ones.
Cool. Yeah, I think I need to see 3. I don't know. I'm torn on that. They're just very different movies.
Idris Elba, man.
Right. Plus the whole like Mario versus Sonic thing never ends. Even today, we're comparing their movies
exactly. Now. It's a Pepsi Coke. I mean, you can like them both. It's fine.
You got everything. Get it all.
Anyway, all right, let's get this song for Bob Decker. The version I'm picking is from a great cover album from 1998 that might fool you from the title. You might think you're just getting a collection of songs from the 50s and 60s, but no, you're not. You're getting covers. The album is called Oldies But Goodies. It's a compilation, and it features a band called Gob. Yeah, punk rockers Gob. Haven't heard that name in 15, 20 years, with their cover of Mr. Sandman.
Those pants are made for frogging, if you know what I mean. I actually don't. Frogpants.com.
He reads everything.